What is up, GBA Nation? My name is Mike Weber, aka Lil Web, and I'm joined by our media director.
It is me, Sean, aka Sean.
Yep, many of you remember us from our GBA Top 5 plays, but now we are introducing our very own show called The Sean and Web Show, where this show we're going to be doing a bunch of really fun stuff. We're going to be doing interviews with some like coaches and some players, maybe even some like college and professional players, even some of our own GBA staff. Not only that, we'll also do some campus tours of some colleges all around the state of Ohio and even here in the area a little bit. Like for example, later today we'll be doing Muskingum.
Yes, we'll be doing Muskingum. We got a lot of just fun things on deck. So be sure to come explore with us as we go from campus to campus, venue to venue. We bring in, like Webb mentioned, we bring in special guests. Those special guests range from professional players to NCAA Division I on down to Division III, JUCO. We'll have a bunch of guests in here talking nothing but sports. Absolutely.
And then once we get started with GBA season, we might even do some live shows of this. Like for example, Katie Smith class, we might do that as a live show. And yeah, there's so many exciting opportunities with this show, and I cannot wait to see how this goes.
You have tuned in to the Sean and Webby Show. You will not disappoint.
Yeah, and like we said, for our first college campus tour, we decided to go to Muskingum University, which is a nearby Division III school here in the area, over in Concord, which is about 15 minutes from where we're at in Cambridge. So, yeah, very, very great.
We're going to take that tour, and we're also going to look at local restaurants and places to eat. We're going to highlight, everywhere we go with campuses, we'll take a tour of on-campus life, and if you're in town, where to stop by to get the good eats from. So.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Yep. So without further ado, let's start the campus tour in Muskingum. What is up, GBA Nation? My name is Mike Weber, aka Lil Web, joined by
Sean, is aka Sean.
Yep. And this is our first episode of the Sean and Web Show. Today we are going on a college tour. Today we are here at nearby Muskingum University in Concord, Ohio. Let's check out the campus.
Now I'm to the basketball arena. Ohio, we have Muskingum College here, Muskingum University. Like, what a beautiful campus. If you want to play, you want to pursue your education, why not?
So today, for our lunch, for our campus tour, we stopped at the famous Dairy Duchess. Let's see how it tastes.
I ordered the Philly. Let's see what they can do.
Very good.
One thumb up because I can't use the other hand right now, but very good. Excellent.
So we got the hot dog here. Let's see how this tastes. Hot dog's pretty good. It's actually deep fried. I like that. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Really good. Now let's try the fries. Try a fry. It's pretty good. Just your standard crinkle cut fry. I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.
And how about pricing?
Oh, pricing really cheap. Like all of this was just $9. Like, it's really good. Like, the hot dog and fries all together was $3. So, you can't beat that.
Got a good Philly.
Yep.
Delicious.
So, as we enjoy this, Sean, what's your overall review of Dairy Duchess?
Dairy Duchess, great price point, delicious food. I'll give it out of 10. It gets a 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I'd let's say it's pretty good. I love the deep fried hot dog, and the fries, like I said, they're pretty much just your standard kernel cut fries, so they're pretty good as usual. So he gives a 7.5 out of 10. I give mine probably a 7.8 out of 10 because it's really good diner food there, and like you said, really good price range. So if you're ever in Concord and if you're ever in Muskingum, stop by Dairy Duchess. I think they're probably closed in the winter time, probably, since it's an ice cream stand. So if you want to come here, be sure to come here like early fall, all during the summertime, maybe even the spring. So be sure to keep that in mind.
Day 2.
We are doing some drone tours today. Last week we tried this. I forgot the memory card. My bad. But we are back today. We're about to make it happen. Stay tuned. Webby, who you think?
Let's do it. Muskingum here for day 2. Now time to go have some lunch. We're gonna be on to the Brunch Box. Brand new restaurant, opened up about a year or two ago. So yeah, should be a good time here.
Cannot wait to get some vittles, because I just had an epic fail over there on the fence. I did not try it because it seemed a little unsafe, and I am not that athletic anymore. So what I can do is this. I'm gonna go eat.
What you got there, Sean?
I got a omelet. Omelet with waffle with gravy.
Whole fries and eggs. Very good. How's your omelet?
This omelet is outstanding. Number one, I've never heard of a omelet until today. An omelet mixed with a waffle, spread with gravy.
So just got done eating at the Brunch Box. Really great restaurant, really great food. Overall, 2 thumbs up. It is a solid, I want to say 9.5 out of 10. Really good food there. What'd you think, Sean?
I think it was a 9.7 out of 10. The food was great price point. It's a must stop. If you're in the area and you like breakfast food, you better come here, because 9.7 out of 10 is fantastic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's only a few minutes away outside of New Concord, but it is really great food. And also, if you want to eat breakfast here or eat lunch, yeah, because they close at 2 p.m. and they're closed on Wednesdays. But other than that, they are open every day other than Wednesdays. Really great place. It was our first time there, so yeah, really great food. Very great.
Boom!
So that ends our campus tour of Muskingum University. Be sure to stay tuned for some of our upcoming college tours. Ain't that right, Sean?
That's so right. Stay tuned.
Really great tour there of Muskingum University that we did there. And speaking of Muskingum University, we actually have a Muskingum alum with us today. He is the director of the GBA, John Ferguson. Glad to have you on the show, John.
Hey guys, glad to be here. Very honored to be the first guest
on the Sean and Web show. You guys are doing a great job with this, and looking forward to seeing what else you guys got planned in the future.
Absolutely. And yeah, like we said, Ed, you are a Muskingum alum, and not only that, but you got to play basketball there. So tell us, what was that like to play Division III college basketball there?
It was a great experience, you know, from being a local area, graduating from Meadowbrook, and had opportunities to do other things, but chose to go to Muskingum and play for Coach Burson there, who was a long-time legendary coach, still a legend of the game. And unfortunately, you know, a back injury cut my career a little short, but you know, went on to graduate from there, and you know, very proud to say that I'm a Muskingum alumni and part of the long magenta line.
Absolutely.
What were some of your favorite places to eat on campus in those days, if you could remember?
Campus back in the day, I mean, that's been a long time ago. You're hitting me back, but you know, the spot was the BOC, the bottom of the center, you know, and I think it's still going on there, and that's kind of where everyone would you know, meet up in between classes and grab a little lunch and a little snack, things like that. But yeah, the BOC, the bottom of the center, was the place to be then.
What was their specialty? Like, did they pizza?
Yeah, pizza, sub, just a little bit of everything. You know, you really had a choice. You know, some fried foods, or they had, you know, pre-made stuff. It was just kind of like a little snack sandwich shop. But you know, always had TV going, and the mail room was down there as well. So it was just like I said, it was kind of on the center of campus. So people coming from the dorms or coming from class, everybody just kind of meet there in between classes, and it was a good little spot.
Nice.
It's a nice plug. If you're ever around Muskingum campus in New Concord, go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and then while you're at Muskingum, what was like one of your favorite memories from playing there? Like, was there like a specific game that like sticks out in your mind that you just go back to now and then?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's nothing that like sticks totally out, but you know, we had a pretty good squad back then, and I remember one of the years, I think it was my sophomore year there, we hosted the first round of the OAC tournament, and we hosted High Northern. It was a kind of a big game there, and Northern come into our place, and we took care of business. So, you know, it was one of the great memories. You know, but there's so many, you know, met, you know, a lot of great friends that I'm still friends with, and they're now coaches and teachers, and some of their kids are now. What's exciting about it is I see them on the weekends. Some of their kids are starting to come through GBA, you know, as they're coming up and playing as well. So yeah, a lot of great memories at Muskingum.
Oh yeah, nice. And when you mentioned like some of your friends got to coach, that brings us into the next one. You actually got to be an assistant there at Muskingum for a little while. Not only that, but you got to be an assistant underneath Gene Ford, who's a legend of the area. Like, he's led Cambridge to 4 or 5 Final Four appearances, one of them being a state championship appearance. Tell me, what was that like getting to be assistant for Gene at Muskingum?
Well, and I worked for Coach Ford, you know, when he was at Cambridge too. You know, I was assistant at the varsity level, and I coached the junior high, and you know, growing up as a kid, I was very good friends with Dustin. And you know, when we were a little bit little, Gino would take us to, you know, get workouts in as well. And you know, Coach Ford was a very good guy. He got me in, always took care of me. Like I said, he kind of gave me my start of coaching at the junior high level, which, you know, I coached our current GBA assistant director, Lucas Hutchison. He was part of that first crew that I coached in the junior high there at Cambridge. And then, like I said, I did a couple years as the varsity assistant, and then I moved away for a little bit, come back, and Gene was the coach at Muskingum at the time, and I wasn't coaching, and there was an opportunity to get on staff there. So Coach Ford got me in at Muskingum. So I was 1 year the assistant men's coach under Gene, and then the next season I took the assistant women's basketball job and the head women's golf job at Muskingum. So I was back in the Muskingum, you know, I played there. Now I'm back, you know, in the classroom teaching and also coaching. So it was a great experience, and it was something I'll never forget. And then in 2012 is when I left Muskingum, resigned there, and I've been doing what we're doing right now ever since then, and continued to grow. Not only GBA, but you know, now we started the OVA and also our youth program with our high youth basketball. So it's taken off. It's grown a lot in the last 11 years. we're still, still growing and excited about things to come in the next few.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Real quick, we want to give a shout out to Big Lucas Hutchinson, staff here at 740 in GBA. He is the first Big Aristotle. John, being that you coached at Muskingum, you're a familiar face around the area. How did that help you in terms of coming back to recruit kids, helping them understand like college, levels to college? Like, how did that benefit you?
Yeah.
What were some of your challenges?
It was good because, first of all, is being in the GBA. Because even though I was, at Muskingum, I still did GBA, and I did all that part time, on weekends and kind of behind the scenes stuff. So I knew a lot of the coaches, was traveling around, and a lot of the high school coaches and even, assistant coaches and stuff all were involved in coaching the travel programs. So, you would see a lot of familiar faces. So they would know me, I would know them. I already had, established relationships. So it was easy to know, like going into their, what kids I needed to recruit, or what kids you could reach out to them. Hey, what are we doing, or whatever? Because I would not only see them in their high school, but I had the privilege of seeing them when they would play through the GBA. Because if you played in GBA, been around GBA, a lot of our kids, we don't necessarily have the Division I level. We get them. Not saying we don't, but it's more that Division II, Division III level, and which is very high level.
Yes.
Basketball. So I got to see the kids not only in GBA, but then I'd see them in high school. So it was kind of a bonus to be part of the GBA and coaching at the college level to be able to recruit.
Oh, nice.
And also, when you were at Muskingum, what was Gene like when you were around him?
Coach Ford is Coach Ford. He was always there was a face. He always knew everybody in the room. It was a face he didn't know, and full of stories, full of great memories, and it's hard to believe Coach has been gone 4 years. But he was great for the game of basketball, especially in this area, and even at that level. His personality, he knew the game, he knew how to get kids to play for him. And like I said, it seems like everywhere you went, whether it was in the state of Ohio or 3 states away, somebody Gene knows, or somebody recognizes Gene. So he's missed to this day, and I'm forever thankful for the opportunities that he opened for me.
Oh yeah.
Tom,
really.
before I ask you this next question, let me take a quick Gatorade break. Hold on.
I think I'll take a little Diet Dew break.
And I no drink, so. some drink brand out there sponsor me.
Coaching with Gene, obviously, he got to see you as a player too. Was there some trash talk between you guys once you got to coach underneath him about like back in high school?
He was never like that. He was, even though I was a Meadowbrook guy and Gene was a Cambridge guy. Like I said, he always treated me like I was part of it. Coach was always good to me and never, and if you're not in the Cambridge Meadowbrook, it's a little bit the rival there, but Gene never made you feel like that, and he was very, as much as Coach, liked to have fun and things like that, but he was respectful and very professional when it come to that kind of stuff. So it was just like I said, it was a great experience, and you learn a lot from him. One of the favorite quotes, and I even said this, when they had the tribute, was Coach would always say, "Big John, if you got the horses, you let them run." He says, if you don't have the horses, you stick them in the cage and you round them up. So.
Those are words of wisdom, though.
Yeah. Don't get in the way. If you got them, let them go.
Nice. So, reflecting back to high school days and playing against Coach Ford's teams, you were a 1,000-point scorer. So he had to deal with you, like, he had to really see you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite memories from high school and your 1,000-point scoring year? Like, what are some of your good memories from those days?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Cambridge Meadowbrook thing was always fun, and I think looking back, one of those is my junior year. It was a big game, and at that time, Meadowbrook Cambridge always played around Christmas time because everyone was home. And just happened to be that my junior year is we hosted Cambridge at our place. And if you've ever been in the Meadowbrook Gymnasium, it holds, 3,000 plus. And there was not a seat in the place, and it was standing room, people standing on the sidelines, and it was, we ended up beating Cambridge. It was kind of a high for high school for us in the area. It was in the 70s, but it was a 5 or 6 point game at the end, but we beat them at our place, and those are always fun. And then, obviously then, you guys started that, Webby and Luke dug up these videos from 20 some years, 25 plus years ago, scoring 1,000 points down at Shenandoah, which, Coach Sweeterman down there was very, Coach Sweeterman, if anybody in the area knows Coach Sweeterman, he's still a friend to this day and been a great guy. And he knew coming into the game that I was going to get it there. And he set it up where they could stop the game and do things like that. So that was fun. And I'm forever grateful and thankful for him, doing that for me.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Well, we're here to make sure we give you your flowers and everyone knows it. This guy was a bucket getter. He knows a game of basketball like nobody's business. So we want to make sure we give him his flowers.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, and then going forward now, right after coaching at Muskingum for a little bit, you then went and started working for GBA. What was it like working at GBA back in those early days?
Back in the time. So the early part of GBA, and obviously, if you don't know anything about GBA, Jeff, my brother Jeff Ferguson is the one that really was the brain and started everything. And it was back when I was playing and coaching, and then, I always worked. I started out running clock and being that person because I was just a kid myself, and just kind of over the years is I've been along for the ride as we've grown this. And then when I resigned at Muskingum in 2012, up until that point, GBA was basically March through June. That was it, and then that was it. There was nothing in the other months. And so we started at that time, after I left Muskingum, we started a showcase, which was geared strictly for Division III college coaches. So me coming off of that circuit and knowing how, you go to all these big events and you kind of get lost in a circuit and you're trying to see all these kids and things like that, but there's nothing really geared for that level of, a coach or players for that level. So my thought was we try to do something for those kids. We're it's a smaller scale, smaller, venue type thing for them to be able to showcase in front of Division III and Division II coaches. So we did an individual showcase, and then we also did our tournament, which at that time was just a college exposure tournament. And then now that's progressed into, we now partner with Ryan Polk, Certified Basketball, which is now our Midwest showcase, which we just completed. We do that in July at Capital University. And it's a great event, fills up 70 teams, and we get our 20 to 25 Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college coaches coming through the door over the 2 days. And it's been a great event because we see a lot of it. Again, we don't have any egos over at GBA, so we know that's kind of our level of basketball, and not saying that, nothing against anybody or anything like that, but that's just, that's our level. And so we try to do that to showcase that level of a player. And it's been pretty successful over the years.
Nice.
Nice.
What would you say has been your favorite GBA event?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll say this until they say we can't do it, and that's the Laurel Hill event. For what it stands for, and being privileged and blessed to be a part of that. With the Hill family, with Lisa and Brent, and if you don't know the Laurel Hill story, please research that. Take 10 minutes and watch that. But what she did and her fight and what she tried to do at the end, and then for the Hill family to put her event in our name, in our hands, and we just finished year 6 or 7 of that, and
Nice.
We've been out in the Laurel Hill and doing that in her name, and while doing that, we're at 110,000 plus that we've donated from GBA to the Cure Starts Now Foundation in Cincinnati in Lauren's name, and without all the great people out there in GBA Nation, coaches, players, parents, obviously we couldn't couldn't get that done, but it's my favorite event for what it stands for, and able to give back to try to find that cure for DIPG.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Like I remember recently I went to Xavier where they had that big event for Lauren Hill for college, and I remember and in the concourse there, they still have her jersey hanging up there. So
yeah,
it's so amazing how much of an impact she had on the AIM, and how we're able to continue to show how much of an impact she had.
Yeah.
While at the same time raising awareness of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And this past season, Lisa came in and was speaking, and she said, they have, we've actually made progress. So now the life expectancy of in these children, that once they're diagnosed, that the life expectancy is increased. So they are making progress with it, and I like to think that that Lauren had a big part of that. With raising money, not only locally there in Cincinnati through our event, but there's a bunch of other things that go on, but nationally, with what, the name and the people and what she did. I believe the total number raised in her name is well over $2 million.
Wow, it's incredible.
Yeah, nice. Towards that, and it's just, it'll forever be my favorite event, and I hope we can do that as long as the Hill family will let us. So
yeah,
I can honestly see why that is your favorite event. It's planned for a purpose. It helps people clarify their why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to understand your why of what drives you every day. And her story is a wonderful story that everyone should hear and know about. And it doesn't surprise me with the type of person you are that is your favorite event. It is a successful event. It brings out all sorts of great talent as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's been great talent over the years coming in and playing, in that event. So yeah, Lauren Hill event, definitely my favorite.
Nice. And then we have a little question here from Luke.
Uh-oh.
Who is your favorite GBA staff member?
Don't worry, our feelings won't be hurt, Webby.
Well, first, I probably would be in trouble if I didn't say my partner and my brother in this whole thing, Jeff. He's probably got to say if I don't mention him. But I don't want to get fired or kicked out of the family. But of course, Luke would come up with that. And obviously, Luke is wanting me to say Luke, but here's the thing. If anybody that's been around GBA, and you guys are all part of the GBA family now, is we're all family.
Absolutely.
And literal and in a sense, the GBA has been a part. It's a lot of family, good friends, and we brought in good people like you guys. Sean's on full time with us, Webby's part time with us. We just surround ourselves with great people, and we couldn't do what we do every day, and we're very blessed with that without all your help. So with our friends and family and our staff, and so it's a very good core group of people that are teachers, coaches themselves, administrators. Some are lawyers. Sheriffs, corrections officers. Like we just have a wide variety of staff members that work for us, but all are great people, and like I said, without them helping us, every weekend, we couldn't do what we do, and we're very blessed to be able to do that, and very thankful to have the group of people that we have that allows us to do what we do every day.
And we're very thankful to be a part of this, to see you guys' vision and be a part of it. Thank you for bringing this on as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And also as we into here this fall and also 2024 here soon, what are some things you look forward to with GBA and OVA and like 740 Sports as a whole?
Yeah, so the 740 Sports is a whole new company, so to speak, that we're just rolling out and getting going. But it's kind of, if you don't know, like we do GBA, which is the girls basketball. We also do OVA, which is girls volleyball. And then we have our OHB, High Hoops basketball, which is our youth stuff. School team, 3rd through 6th grade, boys and girls. But this year we'll be expanding a little bit more on what it does. But basically 740 Sports is something that we created that is kind of the umbrella that you know hovers over all of those sports, and we look forward to continuing to build not only in our local sports in this area, but across you know our GBA, OVA, and OHB you know forums. And you know we got coming up our fall league starts here you know the first week of September for the GBA. Third annual, I believe, third or fourth annual there. So our fall league, and it's last year we had about 50 teams that play up in Reynoldsburg. So GBA's basically has a month off, you know, the month of August, and then really the month of August is the only month we don't do anything now. And then, like I said, the fall league starts in September. Then our youth leagues start in November, and that is in Wheeling, West Virginia at the Highlands, and also here in Cambridge, Ohio, our headquarters, home of our headquarters. About 200 school teams play in those two leagues, 3rd through 6th grade boys and girls. Then January rolls right into you know OVA volleyball, and also our youth tournaments for those school teams. We do those in January and February, and then now you're right into March, and there's GBA, then there's OVA, and everything just starts to overlap.
Yeah.
Sound like you are busy constantly. That must take a lot of energy and a lot of breaks. Is it true that you take down 6 Snickers a day to be able to?
Some days, some days. You know, and when I was a little younger, they used to, you know, I used to wear it well, so to speak. But now as you get a little older, it's starting to catch up with you. So, you know, maybe we need to cut that down to 3 or 4 Snickers a day. But and diet pop instead of regular
Absolutely.
pop.
Oh, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a urban legend goes around that says the secret to his sauce is 6 Snickers a day.
Yeah.
He does amazing things just by eating 6 Snickers.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. And I do accept those as bribes. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. Thanks for coming on to the show, being our first person to interview on the show, and we're glad to have you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Again, I appreciate everything you guys do. I think this is a great addition to the GBA, the OVA, everything we got going in 740 Sports. So you guys out there, make sure you guys see Sean and Webby out. Make sure you say hi. I'm sure you're going to see him in the gym, at the volleyball events, OVA, and obviously on the basketball court. So take care. God bless. Guys, thanks for everything you do.
Yep.
thank you. Take care, everybody.